Yeah. I think there's something enough that I don't have an agreed.
Oh my gosh.
Any place, yeah, between us. So from the foundation. Yeah, growth is the foundation. Mechanics. Upward to come,
I will take a picture of you. Let's flip it. We can have it on here, maybe.
Test 1, 2.
Test. Great. Welcome. Welcome, dear crowds. Wow, so many people. We welcome you to the community growth space. We, that is the organizing team, that's Benz, me, Verena, Who else do we have? We have Benoit in the front row. Christina back there. Silas. And somewhere there's Marshall. Yes. And Jonathan Morgan from the research team, who unfortunately can't attend the Wikimedia. Okay, this is the opening panel for the growth space, and we will be here today and tomorrow, and we'll be happy to talk to you about everything which is related to growth. And now it's time to officially open it with this panel. We will be discussing questions like what is and is not working around attracting and retaining newcomers. Well, how should Wikimedia activities evolve to help communities grow and flourish? And how should our technology and culture evolve to help new populations to come online, participate, and become community members? In our program, you will find several thematic blocks in which we deal with growth from different perspectives. For each of the blocks, we have one representative here on stage, who we will introduce shortly. And each of them will have a session either today or tomorrow in the space, so you will have a chance to see them again.
And without further ado, just a quick note that you find our program on the link up. It's the 760-second short link ever created on Wikimedia. It's a lucky number, and as we have little time, let's have a quick round of introductions. We have from the technology blog Rita. She's a senior user experience designer and design manager on the growth team here at the Wikimedia Foundation.
Mm-hmm. For the campaigns track, we have Rosie Stevenson-Goodnight, who probably a lot of you already know. She's a longtime editor on English Wikipedia, co-founder of a number of user groups, co-Wikimedian of the Year 2016, and a lot of other roles, known for being very active in diversity issues, and here in our space to talk about the Women in Red initiative.
Then going on from the building organizations blog, we have Manavpreet, who's a Punjabi Wikimedian, a member of AFCOM, organizer of the Wikiwomen for Wellbeing initiative, and she also has a PhD in forensic science, which is very cool.
He's part of the Lightning Talks track. It's Juan. He's a long-time Czech Wikimedian, Wikipedia Commons, Wikidata, organizer of wiki expeditions, editathons, workshops, and advocating for visual editor and structured data on Wikimedia Commons.
And last but not least, we have from the onboarding blog, Tamás. He's an administrator and bureaucrat, long-time active editor on Hungarian Wikipedia, a founder of the Hungarian chapter, a number of outreach projects like Nicholas Monuments in Hungary, and now he's dividing his time as a community manager for Wikimedia Hungary and a research engineer at an Austrian university. So, welcome. And we thought we would start all the sessions about how to do community growth, what is working, what is not working, with the fundamental question of do we actually need to grow the communities and why?
Whoever wants to answer from the panel.
Okay, then I start. So I think the volunteering community is the essential element of our ecosystem. So we do, yes, the short answer. In a little bit longer way, if not growth, then we need a high enough, stable enough number of participants to to which offer capacity to solve all the problems, and the volunteers not overburdened or burn out because of the lack of capacities. Imagine that people are happy to join a project which is viral and working and increasing, rather than a project which is declining with obvious problems. So if we have growth, if people inside and outside of our movement see that it works and leads, then we will join more happily. And this is our goal.
Thank you.
I work with a team called Women in Red. The scope of our project is creating articles about women. These could be women's biographies, women's works, broadly construed, the paintings they painted, the sculptures they sculpted, the schools they founded, the magazines they established, the conferences they convened, and also women's issues, things like women's suffrage, women's health, and so forth. Currently, the editor population is about 90% male, 1% non-binary, 9% women. Currently, Women in Red has over 400 lists. We call them red lists. Lists of missing women, red links. Some of these lists have thousands of names on them. So there's a lot of work to be done to write those articles. If we employed the current workforce, it would just be 90% men, 1% non-binary, 9% women, and that's absolutely fine. Women in Red doesn't give a hoot who you are. You don't care what your gender is, just we say, write the frickin' articles. If you multiply this, though, by all the languages in the world, start thinking about all the missing articles that have yet to be written. This is why we feel we need community growth. We need everyone's perspective in writing those articles, and we need a lot of hands, more hands than we have now. So we invite all of you and your friends and your neighbors and your nieces and nephews to help. Thanks.
So the growth is definitely important for us and there are still many communities around the world which could be like attracted to Wikipedia and to other Wikimedia projects. From my personal point of view, I can tell you something about our way in the Czech Republic. We try to attract more contributors. The local chapter, Wikimedia Czech Republic, is running the Senior Citizens Rights Wikipedia program, which is like the voluntarily training the people who are interested, so we don't push them to come to the lectures or to the course. And I would say, for us, this is kind of a success, because each program could have like 20 participants, and we could get like 1, 2, 3 new users to Wikipedia. The number may sound to you small, but it's better than nothing. So basically, if we provide somebody the training in editing and we don't push them, this looks like it works.
So I actually thought this was a trick question, because it seems really obvious that it's vital for the survival of Wikipedia to have growth, especially in small to mid-sized wikis. We want people coming onto the internet, especially for the first time, to, when they want to look up, climate change or, forensic science, like we want them to come across like reliable information from us. And we need more people to build up that body of knowledge in those different languages, so that they can get that reliable information first. So yes, in short. Thank you.
So I would like to quote some examples here, because before we did this program, we were not aware of the amazing work that women in India were doing. So there is a user named Parvati Sri actually. She is a Tamil Wikimedian. So she is somebody who's running a state level education program where she's training all the teachers of the state to how to edit Wikipedia, and then they go back to their schools and teach their students on how to edit Wikipedia. And we were not aware of this amazing programming going on in an Indian state, being an Indian Wikimedian too. So also she, because these kind of things go unreported because of the lack of understanding of where and how we can actually present it and get more access to resources and can actually make it better and more influential. And then there are so many other women who have who wanted a chance to actually explore their leadership potential, but they didn't get it since they were not very active or outspoken about their ideas or their opinions about certain things. So after we did this program, we have been able to establish some strong leadership in different regions of India, and women have been taking so many initiatives in bringing the movement forward and trying, and they are actually quite confident in trying out what they believe might work for the community. So I think yes, these kind of initiatives to build the community, to actually give people that confidence and that support they need to move forward is something that is the need of the hour, because we can't always say that okay, we can bring new people to the community and people are free, but the people who are investing their time, energy and emotions in building Wikipedia, we need to think about them too. It should be a cycle, it should not be one way. So yes, I think community growth is something that we need to work on.
Thank you. Most of you have worked with different communities or different languages or on different projects. Could any one of you answer if there are differences when it comes to attracting newcomers and onboarding them between languages maybe, or between the projects?
Well, I have experience with I have experience with Women in Red, which is now a 24-language community. I can say that things aren't the same on English Wikipedia as they would be in Italian or Hindi or other languages. Each community has its own way of recruiting and trying to retain its editor base. Speaking just for English Wikipedia, I have a background in business. I have a master's in business administration, and I approach this with a business lens. I'm all about branding and recruiting and retaining and supporting, but I don't know that that works for all the languages, and we have to kind of use a cultural lens in looking at that and not trying to say that, hey, this is how it's done in English and you gotta try this because this is gonna work for everybody. I will say that what seems to work across the board is using social media, Twitter, Facebook, and so forth. People of most cultures seem to take to that and like to see the posts in all the different languages that are using Twitter and Facebook to push out the articles as they're being created. And we've got over 7,000 page followers now, so I think there are people who really like seeing that, harnessing them to then to switch from being a reader to an editor in whatever language they choose. That's a little harder, but at least they're reading, they're plugged into what we're doing. So we consider that a success too. We call them an enthusiast, figuring that you don't just have to be an editor or a member or a participant. Just being an enthusiast and wanting to kind of be a part of what we do is sufficient for us at this time.
Thank you very much. As this is just an intro and we want you all to go to all the other sessions where we will go into much more detail, we have time for maybe one more question, and it's well, what could chapters or affiliates do to help their respective communities grow? And as Rita, you may not have so much experience with chapters, maybe you can tell us what could community members do themselves. Maybe there are some design tricks they could apply.
Hi, I've just got some notes. I'm not on Facebook. So I think some of the work that the growth team at the Wikimedia Foundation is working on, where we've implemented a number of design experiments on our some target wikis. If you come to the session right after this, we can tell you more about it. But some of the learnings that we found is that it's really important for newcomers to get human-to-human help. So the purpose for us is to find ways for technology to facilitate that connection, and it's therefore really important to try and connect the in-person meetings that the chapter groups may have, and initiatives with what happens to a newcomer when they go online and log into Wikipedia. I think it's about trying to make the community more transparent to newcomers. A lot of the research that we've seen, that we've done in researching newcomers, is that they are very separated from the culture of community. And yeah, I think the chapters can go a long way in, helping to welcome them more and include them in the community aspect of being a Wikimedian rather than just editing.
Does anybody want to add something on what chapters and affiliates could do?
I think we were discussing something last night about it. And, no, actually, I think you should share this since you have this experience.
I don't mean to hog the mic. I'm a member of Wikimedia DC, a board member. I'm a co-founder of Wiki Conference North America User Group, Wiki Women User Group, Gender Diversity Visibility Community User Group, and have just started a new user group that isn't recognized yet, Wiki Cemeteries User Group. So very fond of user groups and other kinds of affiliates and chapters. I think that all of them play a part in how we can grow our communities. The more robust the actual chapter is, the more support that it can give to the volunteers that are within its domain.
Maybe I would add one more sentence that I think most of the activities necessary to change a bad direction to the positive ones or to the growth could be done by the community itself without an affiliate. But in case of the communities where there is capacity problem, it's typical that the community itself cannot do this anymore because it has no capacity for it. So the affiliate can help to catalyze, to organize, coordinate this change in the community which the community itself cannot handle anymore. And so I don't want to make a wrong list what can an affiliate do, but I think it has an important role in these communities which is problems.
Thank you.
There's one more thing that we can consider actually. I think I'm loud enough since I'm
The session's recorded and that's all recorded when you talk about.
There's something that I have learned from my experience. So what happens when you're associated with an affiliate group, right? What happens? They have some people who have experience, right? And things that work really well. Whatever they planned gave amazing results. So what happens? We develop this tendency of defining the growth curve for the newcomers too. So we should not do this as an affiliate. We should deliberately make an attempt to ensure that we are not defining the growth chart for the newcomers or the people who want to do something else which has not been experienced earlier. So this is something I think is very important when we are considering the growth of an affiliate.
For closing this panel slowly, because we are close to the next session, I would ask our panelists to briefly describe what the participants can expect in your session you will be giving here.
So, okay, I'll be speaking about how we have taken the initiative of bringing women in leadership roles and how we have taken an initiative of doing and designing a program in a way where they are practicing what they want to do and also learning out of it. And then we also conducted the first Women Train the Trainer program in India, and how it helped women actually be more confident and be the leaders in their communities. That is what we do.
Thank you. So if you're interested in math sessions, it's part of our Building Organizations for Growth, where we take 4 different examples from around the world of how to achieve growth in the community, which will be today at 3 p.m. in the same room.
So there's a number of technology growth sessions. So the first one is going to be the growth team from Wikimedia Foundation talking about our initiatives in how to help grow newcomers in our target wikis. There's going to be a session later today or tomorrow with the foundation product managers and designers on how we're trying to improve mobile editing. There's also going to be another session by volunteers who work on Scribe, which is a tool that's used to help newcomers write new articles. And also Civil Servant will be an organisation talking about their work with communities in implementing and measuring growth strategies.
Wow, that was very good and comprehensive. Thank you. Just for people interested in the times, you can find them in the program, and as a little extra, there's going to be a short central notice tutorial today at 4:30 p.m. here in this room.
So I would like to invite you for the lighting talks, which is tomorrow around 1 o'clock, right? Or something like that. Well, you'll find it in the program, definitely. We will have something for the people who would like to jump in, how to attract people. So we will have talks on like the case studies, for example, from India, from Telugu Wikipedia, or from New Zealand, from the area of Clummers, how 53 new contributors were attracted. But we will have also lighting talks on more theoretical topics, if you would like to dig in the problem. So for example, how old wikis, all big wikis can help the young emerging wikis. Or I'll be personally talking about the personal motivational theory and grouping, so you can get also some theoretical knowledge from the lighting talk.
So lighting comes tomorrow at 4 p.m. in this room. Thank you.
I wanted to be a cultural anthropologist, but my father said no to studying cultural anthropology when I was back in my university days. He said it wasn't practical. He said study something like pharmacy or accounting that you can do after you get married and have children and want to work part-time. So I got a degree in business, I got a master's in business, and I've had a lovely career in business. But when I found Wikipedia, that cultural anthropologist, she came out. Having said that, after Women in Red was co-founded in 2015 with the help of Max Klein, sitting back there, I have applied a business lens to the work that we do, and that's what this session is going to be about.
So Rosa is going to be in the blog with, about campaigning, running campaigns for growth. One of them is this business case, but you can also learn about the African Wikifunding initiative and the Caucasian collaboration tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. So it's an early session, but I hope you all show up. There will be free coffee at the Ola Magna.
And in the last block, onboarding editor retention block, participants can have an overview and learn about what problems different communities faced, how they reacted to these problems, what are their first results, and what can you expect in the near future in this field.
So the onboarding block will be tomorrow from 11 a.m. Same room again. Remember, this is the community growth space. You are welcome. This is your space. We will showcase the Hungarian French examples through 2 presentations, and then we will run a workshop with Verena and Christine from Wikimedia Germany on workshopping practical approaches that you can apply on your own wiki community. So with that, I would like to thank everyone for coming to our opening panel and our first session. We are really glad you all showed up. Please don't leave. We will not close the doors, but we trust you that you will stay. A big thank you to anyone who's been following the live stream or watching this recorded. As a general housekeeping, you find the program up there. Anything else we should mention?
No, most sessions here will be recorded. We even have a live session, a live stream. But yeah, most sessions will be recorded. You can watch them afterwards. And I guess that's it.
Two small announcements yet. If you have learned anything in our session, it would be nice if you left a little post-it as you leave, but we know you will not leave, about one thing you really learned here today. And nothing to do with us, but there's going to be an editor retention meetup organized on Sunday, which we think ties into the idea of the community growth space. So if you've enjoyed the sessions here, you would probably enjoy that meetup as well. Thank you.
Thank you.